Hey everyone, this is Kiki from Metal and High Heels. I'm here with Tristania, with Kjetil and Mariangela. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, really good.
We're doing very well.
Yeah.
Very well, thank you. Did you just arrive or were you here already for a long time?
We arrived around 3 or 2:30, and we've been already in some interviews, eating what we could eat at the moment, and yeah, just preparing.
Yeah, doing a lot of promo work, right?
Yeah, a few interviews, which is nice always, of course.
Yes. So we haven't really heard much about you guys. You have been so, I don't know, private. What's up with you? What are you cooking? Is there some surprises in the future?
Well, yeah, that might be. We've had, as you say, a quiet period now for a couple of years. Because, things are happening, private lives, and there's been a few kids coming as well and stuff like that, which we don't really, we don't really put out pictures of our kids on the Tristania Facebook site and stuff like that. Some people got married, and so there's been a lot of good things happening, which has also meant that we haven't been able to prioritize our hours for the band as much, which I think is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And we hadn't had really a big, need of telling everybody what's been happening, because that's the other side of our lives. But it's all good.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. You also didn't really tour much for The Darkest White. Are you working on new material, or are you still going to tour for that?
We had a tour with the Dark Tranquility after Darkest White. We joined some festivals. It's true that after that we didn't really join new tours, but it's also about communication. Sometimes we get some offers too late, and in order to adjust to our private life, sometimes it's different. It's difficult. Sorry, it's difficult, and we need to know, how to adjust with it, because we are 6 people. So time went by, and we didn't find really the right moment for going on tour where everybody could say yeah. So many things happen meanwhile, and we're just here now. The time runs fast. It's not our fault, but it really goes fast. So we will be back on track as soon as possible.
Yeah, cool. So, life was happening, as you were just saying, people getting married and families and stuff. Has that also influenced maybe your performances or your songwriting?
That's hard to say. It's when things change very close to you, you're normally the last person to notice, I guess. So I can't really answer that. But obviously, this band has been going on for 20 years now, and I'm happy to say that we have been developing also as persons, since from 16 to 36, for example, and that's a good thing, I think. So everything is always going to evolve. Inspirations and what's happened in your private life and stuff. And as I normally say, a band is always like a sum of all the band members.
Yes.
And so collectively also we change. So I guess, and also Tristania has been a band that's been releasing albums that don't sound exactly like the last album, and that's probably going to be the case if and when we're going to do the next one.
Yeah, but that's also so interesting. You've been active for 20 years total. How have you seen that the industry has changed, that the music scene has changed and developed?
Well, that's obviously in the beginning of the 2000s, everything happened quite quickly. It felt like so we had to we had a new reality to kind of face, and I think I'm the old school that remembers how it was before 2000, and that was hard enough. But obviously, when you lose your main income as a band, it will change things. So it hasn't become easier. We've had to be creative on how to afford going to the studio. Doing that can for us easily cost like 30 or 40,000 euros, and that's not something I have in my pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, there's always been challenges in the music business, and I think the music business is still adjusting to the new reality and trying to find new solutions on the challenges.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't become any easier, and but that's the same for everybody. Also, the live market today is even harder than ever, because everybody has to tour now in order to kind of keep the wheels running.
Yes.
So that's also an effect with the changes in the beginning of the 2000s, but we're comfortable with where we are, and we're we've been talking about this a lot, but we're lucky to be able to travel the world and play together, you know, with our best friends, and people actually want to go and listen to it and stuff like that. So we shouldn't really complain too much.
You're happy. That's the best part. That's the most important thing. There's also, of course, now you guys are on Spotify and on the big music streaming sites. Is that something you support? Is it something you like? Does it more or less pay all right? How's that thing going on?
I think these platforms are actually very good in terms of opening the world of music to people that couldn't afford maybe to buy many CDs. At the same time, I don't think the artist is still receiving as much as he deserves out of the sellings. Yeah, everybody's looking for profit, so that's what happens with music. And people is less focusing, I think, on the real
value.
Yes, seeing the music as a form of expression. Lately, I think everything is based more on the image or things that actually you see on the papers, but you don't feel, you know.
Yeah.
And people forget that listening the music from a real CD, listening the music from the platform is different. In terms of feelings, it's not the same. It's not the same that you get from, for instance, a vinyl. It's not the same that you get from the platform. So
exactly, you don't get a booklet with the art and the lyrics. You don't get to see that as much.
I'm talking about the sounds. Of music.
The sound. Yeah,
the sound of
the
music.
quality.
Yes, the quality of the sound of the drums, the sound of the guitar. Those are stimulators for our soul, and I think with the platforms we're cutting it out, and people doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So there's not enough information. People doesn't look for information. People looks for trends, and maybe that is cutting us musicians a bit off of our will and free expression.
Yeah,
but
it's very
depends.
deep.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, yeah,
It was really nice.
Well,
really well put.
I feel always a bit like tense when I want to express something with many feelings that I have to sum them in words, and it's quite, yeah, but that's what I think.
And that's, I guess, what you write in the lyrics as well?
Well, in lyrics of Tristania, forget about it, because it's not about my lyrics. It's about the band's lyrics. That's different. In my lyrics, when I speak about something, it's always about feelings that I experience, and I try to put them in words, like artists do usually. Yeah.
What do you think about the lyrics? Is it still very important for you to express some kind of message, some kind of lesson, maybe?
Yeah, well, kind of. Tristania has been a band with different lyricists through the times, and on our last album, our drummer actually was writing, I think, all of the lyrics.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's not. I don't know any bands that have the drummer as a lyricist, but I think we are really lucky to have him. And I, as a singer, obviously, and also Mariangela, we need to kind of also to go into the lyrics and make them our own, you know, in order to be able to communicate them. Yes. And I think Taral is a really good, like a poet, and also the things he deal with, it's easy for me to relate to, because it's kind of a worldwide themes, not very physical, but in here and in here, you know. So that's, I think everybody can relate to that. So. But I'm sure that, like me and Mariangela, maybe put like slightly different things into some lyrics, you know, because we have to make them our own.
Yeah.
And Tristania has also been with, you know, earlier lyricists, been dealing with political questions, which I don't think is too common in you know, in this in the metal business like that, you know. And I appreciate that as well. It's a far away from, you know, the very early days in Tristania, and also when Tristania was talking about the Gulf War and stuff like that. It's a long journey, but then again, it's we change, and right now we don't really deal with political questions, but more what's inside us.
Yeah, nice. Coming back to the live experience of Tristania, do you have some kind of ritual before you go on stage? How do you prepare for the stages?
If I can guess, Kjetil and Jessica can guess me. You have a cigarette and a beer.
Yeah.
Before every show?
What did I do? I don't remember. What do I do before going on stage?
What do you do?
Warm up your voice, maybe?
Yes, I do, but I'm also not obsessed with that, because I know that when I'm trained enough for the songs, I don't need to warm up like for hours, you know.
Okay.
for hours, forget about that. It's not useful. But I think I can use the muscles. As I use the muscles for something I do automatic, it's easy for the vocal cords also to adjust to. So I warm up a bit, but sometimes you don't need to have the time for it.
Yeah.
So.
No, for me it's something I try to do when I have the time, is to mentally go through the show, to remember, okay, this song, and I kind of go through the song in my head, and then, because sometimes you know songs are gonna go in one go, and sometimes you need a break for doing the guitars and talking and stuff like that. So I try to imagine the gig, if I have the time, and I haven't had the time yet, so I'm probably gonna do that in 1 hour or something.
Physically, what do you do? That's what I meant.
Physically, I don't really do anything.
No?
Just hang around.
Don't you guys get a hug before or something
Me
like
and
that?
Mariangela sometimes do like this or like this
We
or
usually
something.
do like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. So exciting.
Yeah.
So, because our magazine is called Metal and High Heels, and I, of course, have a couple of beauty questions for you too. And I saw that you were supporting the statement from Alicia Keys against kind of, not against makeup, but kind of going makeup free. She was very up for it. And is that something you would consider to do in your life or in your daily life? Is the one thing, but also for the stage. Alicia Keys just stopped using makeup altogether, and she's going barefaced onto the stage. Would you consider doing that again? Also?
I actually consider to do that. I'm still not. I guess I'm not that ready for going without any makeup because of the situation. It's like if it was my band, if it was my project, yes, no problem. It's like it's about me.
Yeah.
But when it's not about me and the band has an image, then I can't go the way I want. But not because I can't. They would never stop me. But I would respect the image of the band as well. Whether the female is seen like as a pretty
Expectation.
yeah, something that I really don't see in my life like a very important thing. Actually, I get very annoyed about this fact that female singers, they are seen a bit like not objects, but the
Focus.
pretty things, you know. About myself, I know that I developed the music not to look good. I know that I want to sing because it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And I would like to give that to people. So regarding outfits and makeup, I think I'm not the right person to take as an example because I'm even getting more simple and simple.
Yeah.
So and I'm not ashamed of it. To me, the most important thing is that you know what you want. When you know what you want and you know who you are, you don't have to impress anybody with anything.
Yes, that's true.
So eventually you will have to discover new things about yourself, but the moment you express your body honestly, I think that's what people get. It's not just about, oh, what a nice eyeliner or nice lipstick she's wearing today.
That's true.
So that's just my point of view. Then I respect everybody that wants to go with a big outfit, makeup, and I love what Alicia Keys came up with because I think women sometimes should also understand that they value much more than a mask, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. There's also one thing that we've been asking everybody. We are at Metal Female Voices Fest, and there's this controversy, the problematic of the female-fronted metal, like the term. Would it bother you if someone just said Tristania is a female-fronted metal act?
Doesn't bother us. It's just not true. We are two, female, male. Just they can label us because they will always label us, but I don't think we can talk about female-fronted band. We talk about two singers, female and male vocal. That's it.
Yeah.
What we're really talking about is music, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, I don't really care about even about genres, and even less about what sex the singers have, you know. So yeah, but I understand it like this as a concept. It's very clear what you get, which obviously people want. So it's like for marketing and stuff. I understand it, but for us, the identity of the band is not really important, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think
As long
that's
as you're not offended or something, that's fine.
No, we're not offended. If you get offended by things like that, I think you might have a problem. But personally, I don't really bother. So, but that's maybe why I'm not offended. It's not very important to me if the singer is a male or a female or in between there somewhere or whatever, you know. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very well.